Everyone, Dr. Rob Kiltz, how you doing? Hoping everyone can hear me okay. Give me just 1 second to get all this lined up and ready to go. And I don't have Will here today, so please share with me if there's anything I can make sure you're getting in the process. We're gonna, again, just get started in just a minute. And welcome to another CMI Fertility Live Facebook chat. And we're connecting back live, and again, I'm hoping we're all working here. There we go. Looks like we're connecting now, and hope you can hear me. And gonna go slow and easy and share your questions. And we're just kind of Sunday evening and hoping to get a chance to do a little bit more of these as time goes on. I know we did one just a few weeks ago, and always grateful to have everyone sharing. Learning new things, and I'm learning from everyone out there. I've been getting so many questions on keto, on the immune system, on priming, on endometriosis, and whether or not I need a laparoscopy, hysteroscopy, and again, the need of any of this stuff is just because what we've been hoping to happen hasn't happened yet. And again, as you're joining us, send out just others to join us. Please send your questions. We're going to go for an hour plus. Erica, Anellis, Megan, Stephanie, Jan, always a pleasure to all. And this is a really, really tough journey. And it's very emotional, as you know already, and so many people have been joining this CNY Fertility Facebook village to try to kind of help support everyone out there. And we all need a lot of support because it really is hard. And we're missing the family in the village, and we're afraid to share. And when we're afraid and we don't share, it hurts even more inside. And so I want everyone to know that we're all here to help on the journey. And I'm getting so many questions and comments, and I'm learning from everything that you have to share out there. And I know that over my 30 years of doing this and over 20 years at CMI Fertility in Syracuse, it's been pretty amazing. And let me jump right in. And Erica, husband has a varicocele. Ari said it doesn't affect fertility. Some research may be showing otherwise. And so a varicocele is the dilated veins in the testes. And I think this is all due to intra-abdominal inflammation. And these dilated veins are an indication, increased inflammation, increased pressure, increased heat. And there's evidence that either a ligation surgically or a embolization procedure that can block this excess blood flow can help a lot. I also think keto can help, LDN, and certainly some things to reduce intra-abdominal inflammation, really important. And besides keto, I don't want to forget to talk about paleo, because I really learned a lot about inflammation and diet through the paleo dietary recommendations, but I've since kind of gone all the way over to the Kiltz's keto, which is way on this side, and I know I'm way extreme. It's not necessary for so many to be as extreme, and we'll talk a little bit how even vegetarians can add more fat to the diet and reduce inflammation. But absolutely, I think varicolectomies and varicocele repairs can be helpful. Some people use acupuncture, massage, some other habits to change the intra-abdominal pressure and get rid of alcohol for sure. Annalise, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing anyone's names incorrectly, please forgive me. An ectopic pregnancy, the right tube with an IVF, do you recommend removing the other tube before the next implantation of embryos? Well, just because you get an ectopic with an IVF or even spontaneously doesn't mean that or the other tube needs to be removed. But if there's chronic inflammation in the tubes, it's worth a look inside laparoscopically. If they're significantly damaged, then remove them. Even a course of antibiotics may be valuable for 30 days. There's a lot of chlamydia and doxy or Z-Pak, I think, can be real important. But if you have a bad tube and you remove it, the other tube can be left in place and can help with getting pregnant naturally. So only if that's a hydrosalpinx, it's blocked and dilated, is the general recommendation to remove it. So I hope that helps. Hi, Jennifer. What's more important, age of eggs or weight? Oh boy. So there's a lot of talk of high BMIs affecting egg function, inflammation. I think age still trumps everything. Women diminish their egg function by half in their 20s over their teens, half in their 30s over their 20s, and it goes down from there. But don't fret. It's still possible to turn things around. If you're heavy, it's usually an indication of a high carbohydrate or a high inflammation diet. So by switching to keto, paleo, you significantly can reduce the inflammation, even though you may not change the weight. My opinion is high BMI is just, again, an indication of what you're consuming. Weight in and of itself doesn't affect your ovarian function, but it's just another indication that you're probably consuming the wrong stuff. But the younger you are, even though you may be heavier, you still are going to have a better ovarian reserve than if you're 40 and leaner. So, everyone's always striving to lose all the weight, but the fat doesn't cause the disease. It's the inflammation from the high carbohydrate and low fat diet that really is the culprit. Check out some of Maria Emmerich's stuff, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about Maria, but she has some stuff on keto and how to turn around the inflammation, improve the AMH, and lower the FSH levels. Hey Maureen, how you doing? Having a scratch, is there any benefit for, I didn't get the rest of it, but the endometrial scratch is a little bit of tilling the soil that increases the blood flow in the endometrial lining and seems to enhance implantation. I do believe that there's a lot of benefit. We'll sometimes incorporate an endometrial biopsy scratch or a hysteroscopy and a D&C at the time of a retrieval, which you'll have to do a frozen cycle if you're going to do that. So I hope I answered that, but scratch procedures like wound debridement increases blood flow, enhances implantation. And I think we haven't been talking enough about it, and maybe we should be encouraging more and more people to talk about it and utilize the scratch procedure before a fresh cycle, certainly before a frozen embryo transfer. I think it can be really helpful. Hey Sarah, how you doing? And Charmaine, hello, and all the support that everyone's throwing our way, really appreciate it. Just keep sharing. I've gone into this to make fertility accessible, affordable, but it's got to be good quality. And so again, we're always learning to be more a blanket approach, which is more encompassing. Hey Lena, how you doing? Supplements should a vegan taking before phone consult? Okay, so Theralogics supplements, Ovavite, Ovasitol, and Theramegas are helpful. There are some great vegan vitamins out there. A lot of it has to do with make sure your vitamin D is good, folic acid, CoQ10, mitochondrial support. We recommend the PQQ 40 milligrams a day. It's all about the mitochondria. And inflammation, trash is the mitochondria. And make sure as a vegan you're increasing fat, coconut fat, avocados. If you're a vegetarian, you're able to do butter and cream and eggs. That's really a plus. And a lot of what we're sharing today, as much as what you're going to get on the phone consultation. And remember, we can always do a FaceTime live or a Skype to give you a little bit more interaction, because really seeing faces is so important for all of us. Hey Becky, how you doing? Again, I'm going to try to make sure I hit all of these, and if I don't, please forgive me. And Becky, Pixie, were there any no obvious male issues, but 7 unexplained miscarriages? So unexplained miscarriages could be a sperm issue, an egg issue, an embryo issue, or an environmental issue in the female uterus and pelvis. So approaching this in the food, fertile, keto, paleo, reduce inflammation. Pixie is where we take the sperm and allow it to attach to a little disc in a petri dish, and then we can pick up the individual sperm, which we believe have a better penetration. We think in general, Pixie is for those cases where maybe the sperm isn't getting into the egg, but between Pixie, where you're able to pick a better sperm, this may enhance things. Certainly the guys need to go keto, go paleo, the Conception XR, the Ovasitol, which reduces insulin and reduces glucose levels. I've always talked about intermittent feasting, so eat 1 to 2 meals a day, 12 to 24 hours apart. That isn't an 8-hour window of eating. It's sit down and eat your meal and be done with it. Allow the body to digest the food, to reduce the inflammation in the GI tract, to micronize and send it to the liver and convert it to fat, and that really reduces a lot of inflammation. But certainly look at varicoceles for the guys, and the guys should be looking at acupuncture, massage, and get rid of alcohol and slow it down. By slowing it down, reduce the friction in the joints, the inflammation in the joints. We reduce the heating up of the body. So cool yoga, tai chi, walking in nature, go out with your partner, have more relations. It really is important. But unexplained miscarriages are likely inflammatory. And this is where a full immune protocol comes into play. Lovenox, intralipids, prednisone, Prograf, a whole host of things, and we'll talk more about it. But we've even seen the case where leukocyte immunotransfusion, LIT, and look it up, Nogales, Mexico, Toronto, Canada, but you can have it around the world, but not in America. Probably has something to do with the risk and worries of HIV long ago, but it's basically taking your partner's white blood cells, injected under the skin. That's called the male immune protocol. I think it does help. Problem is, a lot of these are kind of like a little skewed out there, and so many people don't believe in the immune stuff in the American fertility providers. It's kind of interesting, but the more and more I've looked at it and practiced it, I've seen how important. By the way, please share the likes, the loves, because we're sharing them right back at you. And with each Facebook Live, we're giving away an IVF cycle. And so just know that, and keep sharing. We love everyone out there, and we're really grateful. Katrina, we're looking forward to your transfer. And remember, you want to take it easy and slow. And I apologize for sometimes a little bit longer wait when we're getting ready for a transfer, but it's meant to be a time of relaxation. We have acupuncturists, massage therapists. We have a resting room where you and your partner can get in a beautiful robe, listen to some beautiful music, and visualize the outcome you desire. And really, don't forget about prayer, meditation, visualization. And I always recommend vision boarding. So if you don't have a vision board in your home, remember a picture of you, your partner, the family you desire, and persistence, so important for all of us, because we all have roadblocks and failures and things that we get very frustrated about, because we're all just human beings. And humans just get frustrated, don't we? Hey Bonnie, 15 IUs of HCG for hormone balancing. Think it could help eggs develop better over time and help with chromosome abnormalities. Well, We use a lot of human growth hormone, but we haven't used much HCG. But my bet is there's likely some benefits to HCG, and I'm not sure of the dosing. We use 10 to 250 units for boosting and support. I know there's a lot of talk about HCG and weight loss. So it's just some things to keep in mind. Anything you can do to slow it down. HCG may help. Low-dose naltrexone, Ovasitol, the PQQ, and the vitamin D. And make sure your thyroid is in line. And we have a lot of ups and downs on thyroid because of the stress and strain of the process, the hormone changes that go on with the whole process. It really is a major factor. Celeste, how you doing? It's a pleasure all. And Maureen, thank you. Let's see, the scratch, is there any benefit to having the biopsy looked at to rule out infections or other issues prior to transfer? Well, a pathology of the biopsy can be helpful, and looking for chronic inflammation is helpful. The endometrial receptivity assay is helpful in looking at timing before a frozen cycle. We are generally using a lot of antibiotics in the cycle anyway that may catch some of that, but it may be that you need 24 or longer days of antibiotics, and that's another interesting one. We used to send a lot of stuff to Greece and looking at silent chlamydia, silent C. I think it's really a big factor that we're missing. Bugs own us in so many ways, and we're throwing so much, I call it nature's toilet paper in our bodies, fruits and vegetables, which you can't clean off easily. It's lucky enough that we aren't getting more infections, but there are a lot of recalls due to nature's toilet paper. And hey, Allison, Erica, and IVF works for many people. Natural fertility works for many people. Remember, this is all just assisting on the journey, and just listen to those who have gone through the journey. What did they do? And quite often we learn little pieces of information that help us on the journey. Zendra, and supplements, I think. So remember, look at our Theralogics and the Conception XR, the Ovavite, Ovasitol, and the Theramegas. Hey Dora, how you doing? Diminished ovarian reserve AMH of 0.58, priming 30, 60, 90 days plus. Well, more time to reduce inflammation, to increase blood flow is always better. So a 90 plus days, since we believe like sperm, eggs may take 90 plus days in order to go through their natural cycle. You know, we start these shots and we think right away the eggs are going to be the very best. We're seeing if you're doing serial stimulations, it seems that the egg function and production gets better. My bet is 60, 90 days is going to be better in the process. So I have seen AMHs go up, FSHs go down. It really is phenomenal. Everyone's talked so much about how this AMH is a number that you can't change, but I believe you can. Even in your 40s, I've seen a 44-year-old high FSH, low AMH, failed IVF twice, turn it around with keto, and bingo, pregnancy naturally. So we've seen so many couples, individuals successful just because they changed what they put in their body. Remember, what you put in here and in here matters most for the Ferrari. And so it really is. Saveda, always a pleasure. Thank you. All right, any advice for women over 40 doing IVF for the first time? So many women are doing IVF in their 40s the first time. It's not too late. And so remember, keto, and look at Maria Emmerich's, MariaMindBodyHealth.com. She's awesome and amazing. I'm a little, Kiltz's keto is a little more drastic. I call it the baby, bacon, eggs, butter, beef. eat one meal a day at night, rest and digest. But look at Maria and talk to Maria. She's really amazing and helpful. Diet doctor. Undersea feels amazing. And look at ketogenicdietresource.com. It really is, Edith Davis is awesome, amazing, a lot of good stuff out there. But anything you can do to reduce inflammation, DHEA 75 milligrams a day will help boost your ovarian reserve and function. Low-dose naltrexone, 3 to 4.5 milligrams a day, really important, and slow it down. Remember, what we're really working to do is reduce the inflammation in the bucket. Remember, the belly bucket is just a tube filled with inflammation. Everything and anything we can do is amazing. We've seen so many men and women reduce inflammation, increase sperm function. We've seen sperm DNA fragmentation go way down and function go up. Don't forget acupuncture weekly, every other week. Eat butter, cream, and if you check out, the Bulletproof coffee, it's really, really interesting. Put some butter in your coffee, mix it up really good. I'm not a big one on MCT, but it works also, and I think you'll love it. And so I hope that helps, Lena. And Tara, always a pleasure. Keep going. Don't give up. I know it's hard. I've seen failure, success. And again, why? I don't know, but it seems whatever we can do to prime the system and give it up to whatever that spiritual energy in the universe is to help to keep on the path. And remember, every morning start the day with daily intention. Check out my intention book with faith, everyday meditation, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. It really, really helps. Hey, Julie, how you doing? Have I had much luck with getting mature follicles and mixing Clomid and Letrozole? We've mostly been doing Clomid and Letrozole separately, but I'm open to Clomid Letrozole mix along with a low dose of gonadotropins, so a 50 plus 5 of Clomid Letrozole. We do it for the guys, and I think it's a good one. Whatever we can do to change it up. If what you're doing isn't working, you got to change it up. Remember, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting something different. I know, it's all crazy, isn't it? All right, Grace, how you doing? Thank you, Johnny and Celeste. Ovaries. You take biotics to basic cleansing out before you do an IUI. Do you have to wait to drink after a while? Let's see. So a cleanse, I'm thinking you're talking about, and I know Maria has a keto cleanse, 30 days. For me, it's intermittent feasting, and it really does help. And if you're on a cleanse, you could just keep on going. I think I'm not a big probiotics fan, by the way, because I don't think we need to put more bacteria in our body. Let's clean it out. But I think for IUI, 30 days, a 30-day cleanse seems to be the big thing. Even a 14-day keto really helps a lot. And I really began to delve into the fertile foods about 12 years ago when I had paleo patients getting pregnant on that. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I began to really dive in and read and learn and recognize, you know what? We don't know a thing about food and how the body works. And what I really learned is that the body is a fat-making and a fat-burning machine, and we are meant to get fat fast. And interesting enough, when you get pregnant, stay keto, because the baby wants fat, and we carry a lot of it. And that is there for the baby, for our health and wellness, because we're meant to go days, if not weeks, without food, but days and hours without water, and remember, only 3 minutes or less without oxygen. Remember those deep breaths in, bring in the oxygen, get rid of the carbon dioxide, Really, really important. And remember, that extra exercise you're doing is just creating more inflammation, heat, and it's not good for your Ferrari, or I call it the Lion King plan. And I did a recent TED Talk on OCC, so it's on our website, it's on the Facebook, and check it out. Give me some comments. I'm really honing the story. And remember, if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, it's possible. And so Johnny asked a little bit about vegan. In general, for vegan, I'm assuming it's no butter, no eggs, and no cream. You really have to spread out the meals even further. You're getting, in general, lots of carbs on a vegan diet. And our carbs need time to be broken down and then converted to fat in the liver. And so our bodies don't require any carbs to be eaten. We require fat and protein. So by learning to spread them out and micronize them and cook them down and simplify them, we're really simplifying the gut process so that there isn't a lot of fermentation in the gut. And as I learn more about making beer in the belly, carbs and the bacteria and the yeast that come with it are just fueling the bacterial yeast fermentation machine. It makes alcohol, aldehydes, heat, and methane gas, which basically torches our ovaries, the uterus, the tubes, the seminal vesicles, the prostate, the testes. And this is the reason for all our diseases. So you can be a vegan, a vegetarian, but you got to spread the meals out. I generally recommend 12 to 24 hours apart. I didn't believe this stuff, by the way, because I was used to fueling 3 to 5 times a day. You got to fuel the fire of metabolism. But in fact, your metabolism is on a nuclear clock. It's moving. The mitochondria, the cellular metabolism, way deep down in your innards, at every little part of your body, it's moving. And when you're running and heating it up, you're disturbing the blood flow. You're creating more inflammation. So there's some really good stuff out there. I apologize. I'm definitely more of a carnivore. We are meant to eat about anything, by the way. You can thrive and survive as a vegan vegetarian. And Marie has some great stuff when it comes to sort of an omnivore. And I know there's some stuff out there, and our team has it. Please, our Facebook keto group, let's help and share on all groups, by the way. Again, remember, I'm not against anyone's diet. I'm learning also on the journey how to better fuel the Ferrari and slow it down. Remember, we're showroom Ferraris. Occasionally we go out there. We're not meant to be gladiators. It doesn't help our reproductive nature, although it shows us off and gets us chosen. So Johnny, I hope that helped a lot. Hey Nicole, and wife has anxiety, very nervous about taking injectables. Will that peak her anxiety with her taking the injectables? She's heard horror stories and just really fears that it will happen to her. None of this is natural. Shots, pills, surgeries, getting in car, racing around, being around big crowds. It is fear and anxious provoking. That is normal, by the way. Step back. We've done natural fertility, by the way, natural trigger and egg retrievals. Even with letrozole clomid, it's harder to pinpoint the natural ovulation, but one little trigger shot, and maybe it's a little bit of a practice. Have someone help you along the way. Meditation, visualization can help along the way. And you're normal. Anti-anxiety medications can help in some cases. Maybe even at that time you need that simple shot, a little bit of Valium. I'm not promoting that's the primary way, but we're here to help get you through the journey because this is not natural stuff. Hey Michelle, how you doing? Katrina, progesterone is making me hungry. Oh man, remember, we are born to seek out food and reproductive opportunities. That's who we are. And so progesterone makes you famished, absolutely. By really working to eat keto, paleo, working to spread them out, it's a practice over time. Practice not being around a lot of food all the time, clear it away. Because I know when I go into the kitchen at the office at lunchtime, before and after, I too graze a little bit and I've got to stay away. They usually have a little bit of salami for me and cheese, and occasionally I'll have a Coca-Cola, occasionally, and some chocolate. And I don't know if you've seen Dr. Rob Kiltz's YouTube steak and ice cream recipes, but for me, that's my go-to. But definitely, when you're going through the process and you're stressed and nervous, it's natural to want to feed in order to get fat, so your body has the stores that are going to let you go longer without, because that's what your body is preparing for. And remember, once it's pregnant, it often doesn't want food. So nausea and vomiting in early pregnancy says, don't put those toxins in this body. Protect the baby. Remember, I already have all the fat. That's the fuel. Hey Penny, how you doing? Again, thank you everyone for sharing, and we're going to do our best to keep going. It's sometimes long, it's short, but we try to get everyone's questions answered. Hey Jamie, how you doing? Intercourse 48 hours before husband's sample is given. Well, the more and more I'm looking, sex is good for sperm, and postponing ejaculation turns out to be negative. So thumbs up to sex, orgasms. It's the part of this business where we're all getting stressed out, we get angry and afraid, and we're not embracing our partners. And so you got to hit the like when it comes to sexual relations and intimacy. So we have to get intimate with our partner, and a lot of it is getting back to the basics. So yes, we don't, sometimes you'll hear from some of our old ways, you got to wait a couple of days. No way. The day before, absolutely. And the day of and the day after is good too. Hey Tiffany, how you doing? Melinda, how you doing? PCOS and hypothyroid, what would recommend, especially when I was told to lose 30 pounds, 38-year-old, and soon starting IVF for the 5th time. All right. It's not the weight loss. It's the change in the intra-abdominal space, 14 to 30 days of the keto, paleo, anti-inflammatory, intermittent feasting. Remember, 12 to 24 hours apart. That's the very best. That'll help tremendously. Ovasitol, LDN, the Ovavite really, really, really helps. Again, get to Maria Emmerich's stuff. You got to check her out. She's really, really amazing. And if what you're doing isn't working, connect with her directly. Get a consultation and she can help. It's really good to do a journal, and I recommend journaling every day. Hey, this is a shitty day. I'm really feeling effed up. I don't like this feeling. I don't like what I'm doing. Put it out to the universe. Then it gets it off your chest. Doesn't it make you feel better? Really, really helps, I think. And I'm going to just buzz right down for a second because, hey, Kayla, how you doing? Yoga, acupuncture, and things like that to relax from people. Don't think about it. Don't think about getting pregnant. It will happen. You want to shoot someone, don't you? But how do you stop thinking about it? You can't. It's impossible. Like, again, it's like negative thinking is normal. I know I'm Mr. Positive, but believe me, those little crazy things come up, and I can be a little neurotic crazy sometimes too. How do you stop thinking about it? Well, you don't. But it's a daily practice, a daily listening, a daily reading and writing. I always say, thank you, God, Creator, for this awesome day, for the opportunity to be here. I am grateful for all of this opportunity. But no matter what, the negative sneaks up and gets us. Listen to or read The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Check out her book, The Fertile Secret. It just kind of incorporates the same stuff out there. And you know, if someone says, oh, just let go and say, thank you very much, I appreciate it. The 2-week wait, oh man, it's hard as shit. And what do? You go for a walk, you visualize, but you keep at it. I do a lot of reading, Jack Canfield, Tony Robbins, Darren Hardy. I love the power of positive thinking, but boy, it can drive you crazy a little bit. You want to like just eat some garbage sometimes. I know, beat the shit out of someone. Don't do that. I'm kidding, by the way. But this is where yoga, tai chi, meditation, go for a walk. Okay, occasionally go for a run or a bike, but go easy and listen to something that's going to be motivating for you. But don't do it every day. And maybe sometimes the people who keep asking you say, you could share it with them. You know, it's not helpful. And I know you want to be helpful, but I just maybe need sometimes a hug and that's it. So I hope that helped a little bit. The brain is always thinking, by the way. This idea of meditation to clear the brain, impossible. That's why I always say, thank you, God, for the day, how grateful I am for my life, my problems. And look at my website, Mind, Body, Smile. If you go back 10 years on my stuff, I was even more crazy than I am today. And I did this hum, and it's helped me along the journey. As I journal and talk about this stuff, it really, really, really has been helpful for me. Johnny, heartbreaking. This is crazy. 1 IVF and none of my eggs made it to freeze. 25, no explanation. I know. Well, inflammation is the explanation for all of us, by the way. And really the causes are very simple. Glucose, too much. Plant antigens that cause an immune reaction. Plant phytochemicals. There are chemicals in all the food we're eating. The fermentation of those foods in our gut. Exercise, too much of it. And we don't know very much. That's actually the answer to most of this. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. I'm sure you've heard that. That's why I created See My Healing Arts and incorporated yoga, massage, meditation, and check out Aaron's Yoga for Fertility, and join the Facebook support group. And there's a lot of crazies in all of us. I get complaints and bricks thrown at me. It's okay. We're all humans on this journey to try to improve. And it is a hard journey. But this is where laparoscopy, hysteroscopy for silent endometriosis, a 30-day antibiotics for both of you. Look at keto paleo, even for vegans and vegetarians, it's possible. If you're on a treadmill and you're trying to be a gladiator, come on to the showroom. This is where all of this comes in. And listen, remember, I'm a Western trained physician that really was like, no, this stuff doesn't work. It doesn't matter. Come on. Shots, pills, surgeries, that's the way. But then I began to see others conceiving when it wasn't happening with what we were doing. And so I asked the question, what are you doing? And I looked more and more at the idea how literally a group hug, a group prayer, a group visualization, really we're just vibrating energy like our cell phones. It's electromagnetic energy. But it's a hard road because we're so used to the negative approach. It breaks your heart, but this community, all fertility communities around the globe are working together to come up with ideas to bring you into the fold. and to help you, that then you, through what your success becomes, you can help others. Immune system trumps everything. And by simple visualization, hold the dream of that which you desire. It is pretty amazing, by the way. And so I hope I've helped and have only positive energy. So hope is really, really powerful. And if you have any spiritual practice, religious practice, just tap into it a little bit. In the beginning was the Word, and via words. So when we can listen and hug and share, I love you, I'm listening, I know this is hard and emotionally heartbreaking. And I know some, hey, Dr. Kiltz, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to see you. This is too hard. And I'm learning to be a better listener and be really patient in the process. Dave Osprey, Bulletproof Coffee. Check his stuff out. At age 41, his wife ate butter. It worked. Coconut oil. Remember, it's adding the fat. And I'm not a big proponent of seeds and nuts. And so there's a lot of allergies, and there may be a lot of toxins that we're not familiar with. Amanda, how are you doing? Helped anyone with primary biliary cholangitis cirrhosis before? So, inflammation of the biliary system via inflammation of the gut, it's all the same stuff. And you got to look to whole shift and change, keto, paleo, intermittent feasting. I don't think we eat enough fat. And the interesting part, when you eat fat, it goes directly into the lymphatics and the bloodstream. It doesn't need to go to the liver. We have it all wrong. All wrong. The liver's primary function is to make fat. Check out the Human Ferrari on TEDx with Dr. Rob Kiltz. It's something I'm really showing, and I think even biliary cirrhosis, cholangitis, it's just inflammation. It can be turned around. Low-dose naltrexone, IVIG, intralipids, prednisone. Now, I'm not a liver expert. The liver is the most important organ that we basically don't understand very much. It is not for detoxification. It's to make fat. Number one. We do not convert glucose burning to fat burning in ketosis. We always, always, always burn fat. Without it, we're dead. Interesting and amazing. But there is some help for liver damage and disease. And it maybe you have to try a natural cycle. And you got to be real careful with the meds that require the liver's enzymes to break them down. You're probably better off with the low-dose gonadotropins and not using Clomid or letrozole. Hey, Jess, and you know, we're really working hard to get to everyone as quick as possible, but you have to be patient on the journey. It's real important. And we're trying to get to everyone right away, but really what we're asking is for this fertility team. And I'm just recruiting Dr. Mirabel Veradalis in Atlanta area to help us. We have a really great team of docs, Dr. Corley, Dr. Ditkoff, Dr. Grossman, our practitioners, Rebecca, Meg, Grace, Kelly, Lee, and Katie. Just a really amazing team. We have offices in Syracuse, Albany, Rochester, Buffalo. We're seeing people from around the country, around the globe, and our focus is affordability, quality, and remember, it's also integrative. And I'm learning so much that through keto, reducing inflammation, we're seeing so many conceive naturally, and silent endometriosis. Remember, recurrent pregnancy loss, recurrent implantation failure, infertility, male factor, really it's intra-abdominal pelvic inflammation. So again, thanks for sharing. Thanks for loving, and we love everyone out there. And so I hope I'm being helpful. Hey Megan, how you doing? Naturally thickened uterine lining. All right. Oh boy, Trish, Megan, the lining is one of the last, most toughest parts, and we're hoping that Mirabelle in our Atlanta CNY fertility office is going to be able to help us with intrauterine PRP. I'm still working on a New York license to do it. Paperwork in New York's a little challenging along with the ERA, but it's coming. But basically, PRP may help endometrial scratch, intrauterine Neupogen, intrauterine HCG, keto, paleo, power, laparoscopy, hysteroscopy, endo, acupuncture, massage, and I know I'm throwing a whole host of things at you, by the way. Intravaginal Viagra, 20 to 25 milligrams, 3 to 4 times a day, or 2 to 4 times a day, helps increase blood flow. And remember, if you're on the treadmill and exercising half an hour a day, you're taking away the blood flow to the core. That's also going to hurt your blood flow to the uterus and going to hurt your lining. And we've seen pregnancies at 6+, 7+ is best, but even some with 5+ get pregnant. We're looking for that triple lining. It really, really helps. And Randy Morse in Chicago also has been helping a little bit with the PRP, but anti-inflammation, remember, food first. Hey Christine, how you doing? How's the baby? We miss you. I'm going down. Hey Brina, covered beautiful baby gifts to myself and our future little one. Remember, you have to live and visualize as if the dream is here. I know it's challenging. If you read The 3 Magic Words by U.S. Anderson, just really great. And I read a lot of Don Clark on Christ-based teachings. And it doesn't matter what your religion is, you'll always find a spiritual drive and direction. It's similar words and concepts. Remember, it's for all of us. Faith in a higher power. Hey Robin, how you doing? Male factor infertility, frozen testicular sperm. First IVF was successful, 3 unsuccessful since, poor embryo quality, uterine polyps discovered, suspect that I have endometriosis. Would you recommend a laparoscopy and D&C prior to our next cycle? Laparoscopy, hysteroscopy for silent endometriosis and evidence of pelvic inflammation. And I think by simply filling up the intra-abdominal space with CO2, we may reduce inflammation, gentle washout, resecting or vaporizing, that's excising. There's lots of different ways to do this. There's not just one way. But a miracle amazing, some women with endo still get pregnant and have babies. We use a lot of Humira, Plaquenil, Prograf, IVIG, intralipids. I think I mentioned Humira, LIT therapy, single and double dose Lovenox, aspirin, prednisone, longer course of progesterone, and quite often we're taking people longer when they're pregnant, weekly, every other week intralipids. So I think all these things are helpful, but basically I have found a laparoscopy, hysteroscopy, and you have any significant fibroids, get them out. They're simply a sign of chronic intra-abdominal pelvic inflammation, and removing them really does help a little bit. And hey, Chris had her back surgery recently. She's coming back soon. Our great new nurse practitioner, PA in Buffalo. Jennifer is really amazing. And we're just, again, here to help in all ways and share. Hey, Bran. Blanca, can't stop drinking coffee. Well, Bulletproof coffee. I drink coffee. I think coffee is a great antioxidant, reduces inflammation. Keep it to the morning. You know, the caffeine later in the day isn't so great, but I try to drink a little bit of water. It's hard not to eat when food's around, by the way, because 10,000 years ago, if you saw food, you better eat it, otherwise you were dead. It's really, really amazing. And vision boarding, it really does help. I've seen so much success. I've done it myself. And again, praying this baby sticks, all of us. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, Jessica, let's see here. Phone consultation June 7th. All fertility tests complete. How soon do you think it takes to set? Well, we'll get you moving forward. Light speed. And remember, we want to get everything organized in place. Remember, unexplained is inflammation, immunologic. It's pretty much the cause of everything we're talking to. Look at some of my blog posts on YouTube and Facebook. I've been talking about it for a long time. The more I learn about it, it's like it causes the chromosomal and DNA abnormalities, the PGS abnormalities, the aneuploidy, the miscarriages. It all comes down to inflammation. It's a hard one. It's at the micro cellular DNA level. It's amazing. And Penny, Lynn, how you doing? Raise your AMH. My ovaries are functioning amazing. Blood flow is increasing. The AMH is going up. The FSH is going down. Remember, vision boarding, anti-inflammation, LDN, DHEA, acupuncture, massage, all these things really work. I think serial stimulations help. Laparoscopy, get rid of the endo and fibroids, helps a lot. I know hot yoga people love, by the way, Tanya, but cool it down. Maybe we got to do a little bit of hot, but get into the cool tub. And I know Maria talks about cool therapy, light therapy. Jennifer Waters and Donald has been really great. Light therapy and Chi, all of our acupuncturists. But heating the body up denatures DNA, breaks down proteins, is not great for us, by the way. So it really is important to try to cool the body. Hey Jasmine, is there such a thing as too many meds for a transfer? You know, boy, that's a tough one. And we are sometimes throwing too much at our bodies. And sometimes it's a matter of natural, less is more. And a simple trigger, transfer, and let's just keep an eye on things. Because sometimes you have to step it back. And there is a tendency for us modern doctors to throw the everything at you. And it's, you know, it's sort of like we think, oh my God, why didn't we use that? We got to add everything. But you know, one of the things that we're working on is because we've made an IVF 3900 with full payment plans, by the way. And then the frozen transfers are $250, which we really try to keep it as low cost as possible. And then you can do an add-on for donor eggs, and we can help with that. But less is best. And by doing something different, it can be helpful. But sometimes, you know, you just keep on putting in the embryo in until you get the right one. Because if you have sex once and say, oh, it didn't work, never mind, it's not going to work. Remember, keep on practicing. And we're getting close. And remember, get to bed early. Evening meal, rest and digest. Up early. Remember to do your meditation, Tai Chi, light, cool yoga. Get off the cycling and the treadmills and all that other stuff, because it's for the gladiator, and we're practicing to be in a cave. Remember, more rest and digest. Let's see, Tanya. FET the next few weeks. Can you please tell me your thoughts on embryo glue, HCG boosters? You know, I can't say I've been really loving embryo glue, but we have it. It's an added cost, and we're trying to make sure we can communicate it so we have it available. We didn't see any significant HCG washes, 12, 24, up to 4 to 5 days prior. We do it at retrieval quite often. It's going to be a fresh. And then sub-Q Neupogen. I don't want to forget that, because that helps a lot for the real sort of immune issues that are hard to turn around. And one of the reasons I don't do a lot of testing for the immune stuff is because I know that's the cause. If you're shelling out all the money for the testing, you may not have the money for the treatment. And since I know the unexplained is almost always an immune issue, you're better. Now, NK, NA, ACA, lupus, antithyroid antibodies, they're worth looking at. We'll have a conversation. MTHFR, abnormalities, that's where we're adding Lovenox, aspirin, prednisone. And remember, a lot of our global treatments are to calm the inflammation in the body. And there's a lot of evidence by calming the mind, we reduce cortisol and epinephrine, we increase core blood flow. Remember, the core is the brain and the gut. When you're nervous and stressed and you're running around, it goes away from the brain and the core, it goes to the arms and legs and the heart. Heat, it's just a cycle of more damage. Remember, the more miles you put on your Ferrari, the quicker it's in the junkyard. There are only so many beats to a life. And when was the last time you heard of a couch potato death? It's not happening. And so my bet is we have it all wrong. I hope we're doing good. Thank you, everyone. Share, share, share. Remember, we're looking to help people. Failures, we don't turn anyone away. It doesn't matter your weight, your AMH, your previous failures. We really are here to listen and learn and guide and direct. And if everyone is sharing all of this, we're helping people get pregnant without ever having to meet and greet us. So that's our goal, is help on the natural approach as fast as anything. And thanks to Will and my entire team, travel team, in-house team, global team, donor team, recipient, and really, hey Larissa, how you doing? Thanks. And my early morning nursing team, and they're the very best. And we believe we're here to do it differently. CNY Fertility is a center of excellence. You look at the numbers, they're the same across the board. We're not here to market one's better than another. My bet is, if you really look at it, they're the same, because some places cherry pick, and we're here to take all the beautiful possibilities. Because I went into medicine to help, not to pick and choose who I'm going to help. We really want the ability to help everyone out there. It doesn't matter how many failures, it really is something we're here to do. What should we anticipate when we get to Syracuse? Amanda, do we need anything other than yourselves? Yes, heading there this week for retrieval. Maplewood's great. And our amazing team, first IVF cycle, failed 4 IUIs. And it really is, we're so grateful to everyone. Our Buffalo team, our Rochester team, our Syracuse team, our Albany team, and so many people coming from New York, from Atlanta, from Florida, from California, from Texas, from Utah, from Michigan, Ohio. And really, the more you're sharing with your OBGYNs that they can help in the process with ultrasounds and blood work and surgeries and endometrial biopsies, we want to teach your providers how to help you better, so that when it's just simply, hey, I need an IVF, where's the most affordable place in America? CNY Fertility. And that's how I built this 20 years ago. We didn't just suddenly change, by the way. We've always been committed to helping. And again, we're grateful to everyone out there. We have our zoo party coming up on the 16th, Syracuse Zoo. It's where we, everyone's welcome, by the way. We're sharing a mission, and in New York State, send letters to your representatives to support affordable fertility care, covered for all, and that everyone, every center has equal access, equal coverage and care. There is not one center better than another. We're all equally capable of providing the best care out there. And ask your doc about immune treatments, about anti-inflammation, about food, and why aren't we all talking more about a fatty, fertile food plan? How ketosis and how paleo really, really, really helps. And we're really here to spark the story. And get onto Amazon, look at our the Fertile Secret book, share it around, our magazine, share it. And again, my book on daily intentions, and I'm grateful to so many that have helped in build the process. And if you've been successful and you have embryos sitting around and you're done with your family building, think about donating them to another individual couple in need of building their family. If you have extra eggs that you're done with, or it's like, hey, how can I help someone? Really, the more we're all sharing on the journey, the more we give to others, the more, wow, it flows right back to us in so many amazing, amazing ways. And we're grateful to so many amazing fertility centers out there, by the way, for supporting our clients also. And your OBGYNs, your family docs, and the labs, and the blood draws, and the radiology, ultrasound people out there. And again, it's 9 o'clock, and I'm going to be getting some rest soon, up early every day. And Will's going to be connecting and sharing our winner. But you're all winners, and if on this journey when it's not working, we're sharing, listening, remember to journal and love. Julie started keto to improve my fertility. Delayed my period for 3 days to 31 days. Sometimes you're going to get a little shifts. Your body's going to fight it. Remember, withdrawal from the carbocaine is natural. So your body, your hormones, and all the body's stress is pushing. Bulletproof coffee, simple, spoonful of butter and mix it up. That's what I do. Some people use MCT oil. I just keep it simple. Black coffee with a little butter. Add some cream if you like. I'll see you next Sunday night, 8 p.m. It's Memorial Weekend. And God bless. Thank you for joining. Remember to share. Check out my TEDx Underdog Community College on the human Ferrari. Share it around. Help us make this more affordable and accessible. Share ideas on how people can get medications for less. God bless to all. This is Dr. Rob Kiltz. See you guys next week.